My father was born in a wonderful part of Germany, very, very West Germany, and I'll never forget his favorite German saying, "Ich bin ein, forget about it."
Stephen Colbert did not walk to the desk with a stack of insults. He walked there with one record, one date, and the calm expression of a man who knew paper does not need volume. Behind him, Donald Trump appeared in clips telling audiences his father was born in Germany. He said it with pride, with certainty, with that familiar confidence that makes a wrong detail sound like it has security guards. The crowd in the clip did not pause. The line moved through the room like family history nobody expected to challenge. Colbert waited until the screen froze. Then he raised Fred Trump's birth certificate and said, "Donald, your father's story does have Germany in it. It just does not have Germany in the box marked birthplace." The studio erupted. That was the first hit.
Father is German, right? Was German. And born in a very wonderful place in Germany.
Yes, it's true. Friedrich Trump was born in a very wonderful place in Germany, New York City, in 1905.
Colbert did not attack Fred Trump. He respected the record enough to let it speak clearly. Fred's parents had German roots. That part of the family story mattered. But Fred Trump himself was born in New York, in the Bronx, and the certificate sat on Colbert's desk like a small document with a long memory. Colbert placed 3 small flags on the desk. Germany, New York, the version Donald tells. He pointed to Germany and said, "This is ancestry." He pointed to New York and said, "This is birthplace." Then he pointed to the 3rd flag and said, "This is what happens when a family story gets promoted without checking the paperwork." The applause came hard.
It was born in Germany.
My father is German, right? Was German. And born in a very wonderful place in Germany.
For older viewers in America, Canada, and Britain, the distinction was not confusing. They had filled out too many forms to pretend birthplace and heritage were the same thing. A passport asks one question. A family story sometimes answers another. A pension form, hospital file, military paper, or immigration record does not accept vibes. It wants the line filled correctly. Colbert leaned forward. "Donald's problem is not that his family came from Germany," he said. "His problem is that the Bronx keeps interrupting his sentence." The room broke open. A Trump-style response appeared on screen, calling Colbert dishonest, failing, obsessed, weak, and very low IQ. Colbert read it slowly, nodded, and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Bronx has been accused of election interference." The laughter rolled through the studio, but Colbert let it fade. He said the birth certificate mattered because it revealed more than one mistaken detail. It revealed a habit. Trump likes stories that serve the moment. If the story sounds stronger with Germany, Germany gets louder. If the document says New York, the document becomes inconvenient. If someone points it out, that person becomes the villain. The studio quieted. Colbert lifted the certificate again and said family history should not be treated like campaign furniture. It should not be moved around depending on the lighting. A grandfather can be from Germany. A father can be born in New York. Both facts can live together peacefully, unless a public man needs one of them to disappear for dramatic effect. Then came the line that froze the room. "Donald was not corrected by an enemy tonight," Colbert said. "He was corrected by the first official sentence of his father's American life." Nobody moved for 1 second. Then applause thundered. That was the bombshell. The paper did not accuse, it did not exaggerate, it did not need dramatic music. It simply showed where Fred Trump was born and forced the claim to stand beside the record. And once those two stood together, the difference was impossible to miss. The final screen showed 2 columns, family pride, public accuracy. Colbert pointed to family pride and said it belongs in every home. Then he pointed to public accuracy and said it belongs anywhere a leader asks the country to trust him. For seniors watching at home, that line had weight. They had seen families argue over records after funerals, during estate battles, in passport offices, and at hospital counters. They knew one wrong box can delay benefits, confuse histories, and turn memory into argument. Details matter because people matter. Names, places, and dates are how families remain anchored when stories grow tall. Colbert held up the certificate one last time. "This is not an attack on Fred Trump," he said. "It is a rescue mission for the fact he was born with." The studio clapped again. By the end, Trump's imagined eruption only made the paper look steadier. He could attack Colbert, the network, the audience, the fact-checkers, and the borough itself, but he could not make the birthplace move. The certificate had no opinion, no slogan, and no fear of capital letters. And that was why the moment landed. Trump brought a family legend. Colbert brought the line on the form. For older viewers who still keep important papers in drawers, envelopes, and fireproof boxes, the lesson was simple. Memory can wander, Pride can polish, but the record stays home long after the applause tried to leave the room.